Hello, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Notzel. I know that Mrs. Davis gave you an amazing introductory video on Monday in regards to protractors and how to read and understand a protractor. And so, if you need to rewatch that video before doing this lesson, I strongly encourage it. But I know Mrs. Davis also talked about the fact that we are going to be using a couple of websites this week to work with measuring and drawing angles because it's kind of hard to do since we're not in class and we don't have the ability to have the protractor right there for us to manipulate with our hands. So we found this website and we thought that we would try it with you guys. So you'll have this Google Doc on Google Classroom and it'll say day 3 measuring angles. And then you're going to go to this website, click up here, and it'll take you right to the website. And here again is the protractor right here. And if you look up here at the top, it says hold down the shift key while you drag to rotate the protractor. If you just want to drag the protractor, you can click on it with your mouse and you can move it all around. Okay. And before I put it on the angle, I want to explain some things. So in your Google Doc, it tells you to go to the above website and you will take the protractor and use it to measure the given angles. So there are 10 different angles on the page and you will measure them with that protractor. Once you have lined up the protractor correctly and measured the angle, you will put the angle measurement in the yellow box. After you determine the angle measurement, take a screenshot of your work just like you did on Monday. So on Monday, Mrs. Davis and I asked you to take a screenshot of your angle and then put it on there. Now, the bad thing is that when you take a screenshot, it's going to show both of the angles, but we want to see that you know how to measure and how to line up the protractor. So just do it one at a time. It's going to have the same screen twice, but I will do, and then you paste the pictures of your screenshots to this Google Doc to show your angle and measurements. The first one is done as an example for you. So I did the first one for you, but now we're going to go back to this website and we're going to look at this protractor. Now, again, this protractor has a double set of numbers. So remember, Mrs. Davis said when the angle measure, the ray is pointed to this 0, then we use the inside numbers. When it's pointed this way, then we use the outside numbers. Now, we have to take this protractor and we have to make sure that that center, that middle part right there is lined up, that we line up that ray with 0. Okay. So when we line it up with 0, and you can tilt it if you need to, and that's when you hold down the shift key. So if you need to tilt the protractor, you hold down the shift key and your protractor will tilt. Okay. But you need to get it as close as you can to that. And then I'm looking at it, and the way that I read it, it looks like about 71 for this one. Okay. Then when you take it over here, you're going to take this one and I think each time, because the very first time when I opened up this website, my first angle was 60, so it was a little different than this one. But when I line this up, and if I were to rotate it and twist it, I gotta get it to line up first on the angle measure. And so it's lined up, even if I tilt it a little bit. Hold on, I keep moving it because I keep hitting the control button instead of the shift button. So if you hit the shift button and you tilt it a little bit, but if you have that lined up right there, it is measuring at 71. So then you would go down here and click 71 into the box, and then you would hit your print screen button, or however your Chromebook tells you to print screen. And then you're going to go back into your document. And I'm going to go ahead and delete this one so I can show you how to insert this one. So you insert image, you upload from the computer, and you're going to go to your pictures, and then here's my screenshots. So here's my screenshot. I'm going to open it and put it in there, and then there's my 71. Now I can go back to that document and I can move the protractor and I can line the protractor up where it's lined up with 0. And this time to me, it looks like, oops, it looks like it's at about 46. So I would say 46 degrees. And then I would do a control print screen again. And then I would go back to my document and I would go to here. I would go to insert, image, upload from computer, go to my screenshots, and then I would hit open. And then now I have both of my answers are still there, but then my protractor is showing that I know how to measure it. Now, of course, a couple of times when you're measuring, depending on how you line it up, and if you take the shift key and you turn it just a little bit, now I moved it off of the thing. But when you rotate it, if you rotate it a little bit, it could make it look like it's more at like 45 or 47 instead of 46. As long as you're close, as long as you say 45, 46, 47, as long as you're somewhere in that vicinity, then it is correct. If you were to tell me it's 120, then we know that you're off. But remember, because this angle is pointed this direction, we want to use those inside numbers. We want to use these inside numbers, the blue numbers. Now, when you come down here, these you're just going to line up the same. Now, this one is going to be a little bit different. Okay, so you're going to line it up in the center, and then that's when you're going to take the shift key and you're going to turn the protractor to line it up with one of those rays. Okay, if you want to take it all the way and line it up with this one still, so you're still using the inside numbers, that's perfectly fine. Okay, but it has to line up the 0 either on this side or the 0 on this side has to line up with one of the rays, and then you can read your angle. Okay. If you have any questions, please feel free to message Mrs. Davis or myself. I know you guys will do great. I hope you guys have fun playing around with the protractor and trying to learn how to measure angles. So have a great day. We miss you guys like crazy, and we hope that you guys are doing well with measuring angles. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.